Hello everyone, FireCrests Gaming here and welcome back to another video, and a bit of a quick announcement. We are now racing on Ultimate AI for the continuation, well, for the foreseeing future of the F1 2017 career mode. But on to this race. It is now the Canadian Grand Prix, and we're just going to skip straight through to qualifying, which wasn't being helped by one Valtteri Bottas, who was getting in our way through the back straight. Really not handy, and we didn't have the best of laps anyway, so we'll go again. So right near the end of qualifying, and we jump back up to P11. Now, I thought at the time that was enough. I thought that this would be enough to get us somewhere up the grid. You know, not brilliant, because it is Ultimate AI. It is the biggest challenge in the game. But I didn't expect to drop this far down. I was like 14th at the end. We lost 3 positions. But one thing to know actually is Daniel Ricciardo, who's in 12th position. But as we're getting ready for those 5 red lights and a bit of a wet Canada, we're underway and we are still just seeing how things go. I think it's been a long time since I don't think we've raced in the wet conditions yet. We're having a look to the inside of the first top corner, slotting it behind one of the Williams cars. We're going side by side with I believe it to be Felipe Massa, and we also now have Max Verstappen ahead of us. We go down the inside, and we just about squeeze ahead, I believe, of Raikkonen and the other Williams. So maybe that's Massa, the other one was Stroll. I don't know, but we're up to P4 already in this race. The only cars ahead of us now are Hamilton, Vettel, and Valtteri Bottas. So we've got to keep it clean now and make sure that we keep this car on the straight, just keep pointing in the right direction through these wet conditions, as Raikkonen is very, very close, it must be said. Although, don't think he's going to make a move into this corner. No, he won't. He's going to get very, very close, though. It's got to be said, it is extremely close, and it's going to be very difficult for these first few laps to see how we do. Wonderful. We're not going to have that much more of light rain. It's not going to be here forever. So on to the end of lap 3. We're still in P4, but we have been keeping very good pace. That being a purple lap time in comparison to the top 3. We are genuinely on the pace, right behind Hamilton, Vettel and Bottas. We're still just trying everything we can in these conditions to catch up to them. We are still, you can see just how close they are, right in front of us. But on to lap 4, just later that lap, we're going to come into the pits now and fit the dry tyres already. It is quite an early stop and quite an early jump, but I believe it said DRS enabled at this point. I believe the DRS had been re-enabled, so that is pretty much the time to come back in for the dry tyres. And our teammate also came in, but it's not a problem. And I also think that we've jumped Vettel in the pit stops. I believe we have jumped Sebastian Vettel, which is fantastic news. So we're coming out so far in P7. Yes, we do. Just ahead of Fernando Alonso and behind Daniel Kvyat. So it's time really to just test these tyres and see how they are. It's still going to be a little bit slippery, as you can see, just on these first few laps, but it will start to dry up quicker and quicker. And you can see how far back we dive bombed Daniel Kvyat from. You can see the intermediate tyres at this point very much not working at all. So on to the end of that lap. Well, you know what? That's interesting, because after everyone's made their stops, you know who the only car ahead of us is? Valtteri Bottas. And we've gone for quicker than him, and he now has car problems. So as soon as I said that, heard that message, it was go, go, go. And only on later that lap, you can see how slow he is into the right-left chicane, and we've just got him. He's so slow, he didn't even put up much of a fight. Clearly, he knows where his fight is, and it's not here at the moment. So he's going to settle to maybe help Hamilton behind him. We'll see what happens. But I just managed to catch this random bit of fighting with, I believe it is Carlos Sainz and Felipe Massa. Watching from Magnussen, they're going side by side into the first couple of corners, and very good work from Sainz to defend his position from Felipe Massa. It must be said, very good work by old Carlos. So on lap 7, we have our first retirement of the race, and who's it going to be? Fernando Alonso. What a surprise. But there you go, McLaren up in smoke. Thank you, Pascal Verheilen, for that camera angle. But on lap 7, we made a bit of a mistake going out there, and Hamilton looking very quick on these new super soft tyres down the inside, and he's almost got us running side by side on the inside of the hairpin. Really trying to find him now. Here we go, we're running side by side down the DRS straight, but he's going to have much more speed, and I think he's actually going to have the DRS as well. And yeah, there's not much we can do. We've just got to let him go. And for now, at least, Hamilton is up into the lead of this Grand Prix. We've got a very good run, though, through the chicane. We're in a rich mix at this point, surely trying to catch Hamilton onto lap 8. And we're going to have a look up the inside of the Mercedes, but still he holds it. Very good defending work by Hamilton to hold us off, and very good work to hold first place there. It must be said, the AI definitely working, definitely earning their paycheck this race. But it is just lap after lap. We tried to hold him off for as long as possible, but it didn't work in the end. Hamilton's off, and I don't know if we're going to see him at the end anymore in this race. But on lap 16 now, moving further on, we have Sebastian Vettel right behind us, and we make a bit of an error there. And now maybe Vettel could think about having a go. Yes, he does. He flies past in that Ferrari. Much better straight line speed. We'll go as late as we can on the brakes. Around the outside, taking the same line Hamilton did, and it works wonders for us. It is perfect, and we hold P2 for the time being on lap 11. Maybe did I say lap 16? It's lap 11. Now it's lap 12, and Vettel round the outside of the hairpin. That's never going to work. I don't know what you're trying there, buddy. But we still do hold off the Ferrari for the time being. Now down the DRS straight. Here he comes, gaining. Going to the inside. Is he going to have the better line into the chicane? We're going to have to go back to the racing line. Maybe we could just about hold on the outside of the Ferrari. Just about hitting the wall there. Not the most optimum of things. And now Verstappen and Bottas is coming back into the fray. Clearly, Valtteri's had his engine problems fixed, and we go back down the inside of Vettel to just about hold P2. But I think Vettel has some damage. So you can see there how late on the brakes he goes into the hairpin. He's on the ultra softs as well. And coming down to the hairpin, he's messing around a little bit. Probably could have avoided doing that. And down the DRS straight, picks it up there. And here he comes. I mean, around the outside, down the inside, that's easier said than done. And then we just try to brake a little bit later. He's over the curve. And yeah, we just squeeze him to the wall. And yeah, he does have damage. Front right end plate's gone. That is a shame, but I mean, I don't know on that one, but Vettel has damage. That's all I know. So we do actually take this time to get away from the Ferrari. We're just trying to make a gap. We're down to 17 runners now, so what's going on here? Vettel... Oh no, it's Bottas up to third. So we're going to see what happened here. We're watching Max Verstappen and Valtteri dives on the inside of both of them. Fantastic move by Valtteri Bottas. Lovely work there as Verstappen just getting held up behind Vettel. Just doesn't get what he needs. He just gets completely stuck. He picks up the DRS now. Bottas has the DRS as well. And they're running side by side. Vettel giving Verstappen no more room than he absolutely has to. Verstappen locks up Vettel into the pit lane. And what's he doing? What is Verstappen doing? Is he parked off for some lunch? I hate to tell you, but it's not the end of the race yet. And sorry for the quick fade out at the end. I just had a bit of awful camera work. But it was Magnussen who ended up collecting Verstappen, and that was game over for the Dutchman. So on, what is this? We've got another retirement. Sorry, it's Carlos Sainz this time, who is currently fighting with Nico Hülkenberg down the inside, and Hülkenberg gets it down the inside, and Sainz again is another victim of the lockup. Manages to avoid the Ferrari, maybe a Vettel. Goes too far on the track, stops, and the remaining McLaren of Stoffel Van Dorn collects him, but somehow he doesn't well, Van Dorn luckily stays in the race. And now we've got Kimi Räikkönen squeezing it up the inside, using every bit of track he can. Nice work, buddy. And he gets around us easily up to P2. I mean, there's not much I can do. We're going to maybe have a look down the inside, but no. Räikkönen holding the position for the time being, so we're down to P3, right in front of Valtteri. We're going to have one more look at the inside. We have Raikkonen sliding on the exit, wheel-to-wheel contact, and it's just not happening at all. But on the end of that lap, we're going to come into the pits now for our second and final stop of the race, and I believe it is Bottas coming in behind us. Or is it... Oh, it's Ricciardo, sorry. So this is now lap 17, so the Supersoft tyres should easily make it to the end of this race, so we're just going to have to see what happens. So just finishing the pit stop now, and we go through going down the pit lane, and we still hold our position over Max Verstappen. We're currently down to P10 at the moment, right behind Lance Stroll. But we might get on the exit of the pit lane, just about holding... Oh no, just behind, sorry. No, just behind the Williams. He's on soft tyres, interestingly. So is he trying to go to the end of the race? I'm actually thinking now, maybe we should have tried that. We would have been very slow, but we could have made it to the end of the race. And we could have only done it on a one-stop strategy. That would have been better, and the yellows are out again. What's that now? It's Stroll! Stroll is now up with an engine failure, and the safety car gets deployed. Okay. Verstappen and Magnussen both go out in the final chicane. Debris all over the track. No safety car. Stroll has an engine failure. Safety car. The logic does not exist here, but still, onto the restart. Down the inside already of Romain Grosjean, right behind Esteban Ocon in the Force Indian. How trying to get up the inside. That'll put us into P5 with only Ocon and Vettel being the two cars who have already stopped. Can't quite read what that says, I'm afraid. But we're going up the inside now of Esteban Ocon, still running side by side, and Ocon really starting to get on my nerves here. He will not get out of the way. We need to overtake him because Ricciardo is looking feisty. But down the inside, we get him up to P7. Up to P7? Is it P7? Yeah, I guess it is. Maybe it wasn't P6 then. It was P8. Excuse me. But still, we'll have to defend from Ocon because he's going to be very quick in a straight line. The Force India, obviously, one of the fastest cars in a straight, but it doesn't look like he's going to get us. Not at all. And Hulkenberg's in. I believe someone else went in. The yellow flags are out again. I'm not sure what's happened now. This is chaos right now. This is absolute chaos. So now Vettel is one of the few cars ahead of us. And the only other one is Valtteri Bottas. And I believe Sebastian Vettel was having engine problems as well. So it's time once more to put the hammer down and go flat out to try and overtake Vettel. Here we go. He's looking vulnerable into the hairpin. This is it. The overtake for net first place in this Grand Prix. We get past him, and I would have hoped he would have held up Ricciardo a little bit more, but instead he just lets him go. But fair enough. He lets Ricciardo go as well. So now it looks like it's going to be me versus Ricciardo to the end of this race. It's going to be a tense fight. That much I can tell you. So Valtteri Bottas is the only car yet to stop, but I believe he's coming in now. And Grosjean, another retirement from this race. Cars are dropping like flies today. We've only had 14 runners left. It is unorganised chaos once more. But we are into first place with Ricciardo right on a tail, so we do have to try and hold him off to the end of this race. Luckily that didn't happen. We did manage to pull away, but one Lewis Hamilton is now behind us, and he was in P6, I think it was, at the restart, or P7. And now he's just taken us for the lead. Hamilton is OP around this track. I'm not even joking. Just kind of getting out of character here. He's so fast around Canada, which makes sense, obviously. But this is ridiculous. He was so far back and still just waltzed past everyone. Now he has the lead of this Grand Prix, and the virtual safety car gets deployed. No, I was just about to overtake him. Oh, how can you do this to me, game? How can you do this to me? Unbelievable. And sadly, that was the end of Hamilton. That was it. Just like we never got another opportunity to overtake him. And now, Bottas probably would have had us, but the yellow flags came out, so thank you for that. And on to the final lap. Hamilton is gone into the distance. We've got no chance of seeing him now. So he's going to win the Canadian Grand Prix and probably retake the lead in the championship from us. But Bottas and Ricciardo fighting on the final lap here. We go into the final corner. Hamilton just a good measure, sending a fastest lap. Alright, show off. But still, P2 for us in our first race in Ultimate AI. Not bad. Very, very good indeed.
Good job, you did really well. Super driving.
A great win then for the Mercedes team today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
So as I say that, we can see the drivers coming out now to collect their trophies. It's yet more silverware to take back to their base in Brackley after another excellent Grand Prix.
So, I mean, near enough a perfect race. We only just missed out on that victory because of Hamilton in the end and because of the timing of the virtual safety car. It wasn't the best, I've got to be honest, but I'm more than happy with P2. I'll take it and leave it at that. But, I mean, as I said, near perfect. And to just put the cherry on the cake, we got ourselves our position as first driver at the team, which means we're going to get a bonus in resource points. And it's just going to make everything better. Realistically, everything's on the upturn. And then, even following that, we had an invitation from the 1992 Williams, which we also won that, which means we also got a core upgrade, which allowed us to get parts quicker. So, that'll be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you can like and subscribe for more F1 2017. And the next Grand Prix is Baku. I'm not looking forward to that one. But I'll see you next time, guys. And take care. Goodbye.